Good morning students, myself Lokesh, working as assistant professor in Vijnanara Institute of Technology and Science. Welcome to the next lecture on ground improvement techniques. So with our last class we have completed the concept of reinforced layer. So somewhat different topic is soil layering. This is also one of the topic in 4th unit, the last topic. So if you complete this topic, we also have completed the 4th unit. Okay. So the 4th unit is very small one, and that too soil layering is also a very small one. But the method is different. So if you see here, soil layering. So generally, soil layering is used to strengthen or reinforce the existing ground. Whereas reinforced earth means while constructing, we are placing the panels or we are placing the reinforced elements. Okay. But here, soil layering is generally provided for a existing ground. If we have to improve the stability of existing ground, for that purpose we use these soil layerings. And we generally use this. What is a nail? Nail means we see. Generally the carpenters are used to see the nails. Nail is nothing but a iron member having a head. This is the nail. So here the soil layers also very similar. So installing very closely spaced bars into the slope or excavation. That is a nail. Okay. It is an effective and economical method. So as the structure is already constructed with a slope or whatever, so it is an effective and economical method to improve the stability of such existing ground. It acts as a retaining wall for excavation support. So what is the purpose of retaining wall? To support the slope, not to fall. So here the soil layering is also acting as a retaining wall, but is not actually a wall. Okay. So here the function of retaining wall and soil layering is similar. So that's why it acts as a retaining wall for excavation support. See, simply this is a soil layering. So this is the soil that may fall, but what we are doing, we have provided some geogrid and all, and we inserting the nails into the soil. See, these are all are nails. So around the nails we are also placing the bearing plates and even anchors also. So the nails may get loosened. So in order to prevent it, we are providing some nut and bolt arrangement. Okay. So these are all are the soil nails. If you insert them into the ground, what will happen? The soil is getting densifying. That means the soil particles are coming close to each other. Why? If you insert it, the soil is pushing out of the. If you insert here, what will happen? So the nail is trying to push the soil in all directions, right? Because of this also the soil is getting pushed. Like this, the soil is coming close to each other, forming a densifying material. Okay, so that is the principle of soil layering. See, this is a parts of a soil layering. This is the nail. See, this one is the nail. Okay, we are inserting it. Over it we are placing a bearing plate and anchors also. Okay, this is a washer and this is the nail head. Okay, so simply this is a nailing. In order to stabilize these inclined grounds, we are inserting a nail into the ground and we are providing a bearing plate and washers. Okay, if you don't provide these washers and nuts, then it may get loosened. So that's why we are providing this arrangement. Okay, so remaining parts are not required actually. Up to this it is enough. The next one is applications. So in what cases we are going to use the soil nails? If you see, we can use them as a landslide remediation. What is a landslide? For example, if this is the slope, the soil is falling. That is causing a landslide. But if you insert the nails, into the sloped ground like this, if you insert number of nails close to each other, that is going to densify the soil. So the soil will never fall. That is the first application. The second one is railway embankments. So more than the road embankments, railway embankments are not very stable. So because of the vibration loads, this is the embankment over which we have a railway track. So because of these vibrations, the slopes may get failed. So that can be prevented by inserting the nails into the soil. Okay, if you insert the nails, that is going to densifying the soil. Okay. The next one is roadway widening under existing bridges. If there is already a bridge and we have to increase the widen the road, in that case also we can use the soil nails. Next, stabilization of existing retaining walls. Actually a retaining wall is there but it is about to fail. So in order to stabilize it we can use the soil nails. And highway embankments and cuttings. Highway embankment is very similar to the railway embankment, and cutting means in some cases we are going to cut the soil like this and here we are placing a road. This is known as a road in cutting. So in order to improve the stability of these slopes we are placing the nails into the soil. Okay, these are the basic applications. Coming to the next one, what are the types of nails we are generally use? The first one is the nails are drilled and then grouted soils. The second one is driven soil nails, and the third one is self-drilling soil nails. So it is a equipment, self-drilling equipment. Okay, the first one is drilled and grouted soil. So in this case, if you see, this is the slope, we have to stabilize it. So what we are doing is we are drilling a hole first. So first of all we are drilling a hole into the slope, then we are applying the concrete with pressure, that is known as a grouting. The application of mortar or concrete with pressure, that is known as a grouting, right? So first we are excavating a hole, we are drilling a hole, in that we are grouting the soils, grouting the soil nails. Okay, driven soil nails. Driven soil nail means we are not going to drill and we are going to grout. What we are doing is we are just going to insert it. So like this, it is a nail. By applying some pressure we are inserting or we are drivening it into the slopes. Okay, then we have self-drilling soil nails. Self-drilling soil nail means as per the time with the mission the nails are going to driven with it itself. Those are the self-drilling soil nails. So we are not discussing about them too much. What are the just names? The next one is what are the materials used for soil nailing? So we generally use three materials. The first one is steel reinforcement, then grouting, then shotcreting or gunite. Okay, see, these are the steel bars. We are inserting them into the soil. Then this is a grout mix. That means we are going to apply the mortar with pressure, right? So this is the mortar mix. Then shotcreting. Shotcreting is also application of mortar with pressure. See, here with the high pressure we are applying the mortar to the slope. Okay, so these are the various materials used for soil nails. The next one is, see, this is the equipment used. The previous one is materials used. These are the machineries used. We generally use four type of materials, that is drilling equipment, grout mixing equipment, shotcreting or gunting equipment, which is a compressor. Compressor is also a shotcreting or gunting equipment. Okay, the first one is a drilling equipment. If you see, this is the drilling equipment. So with this is the soil. We are going to drill the soil. Okay, and we are going to apply the concrete with pressure. Okay, see here, this is a grouting mix instrument. So it is nothing but a concrete mixer. There we mix the concrete, here we are mixing the mortar. Okay, then shotcreting, that means we are applying the concrete with pressure. So this is also a compressor. Compressor is also used to apply the concrete or mortar with pressure. Okay, so these are the various equipment we generally use in case of a soil nailing. The next one is procedure. So how we are going to insert a soil or how we are going to grout the soil. For that we have the following steps. The first one is, first excavate a small cut, then drill hole. This is a drill and grouting nail. So first of all we have to drill the hole for the nail, then install the nail and grout the nail, then place drainage strips. As we discussed, we have to place some drainage strips or gaps such that all the water can come out of the reinforced earth. If not, the water is also applying the pressure on the panel. So that's why we have to arrange the drainage strips and initial shotcrete layer, and we have to install the bearing plates. After that, repeat the same process to the final grade. Then place final facing on a permanent walls. That means provide the facings. If you see, this is the first one. first of all we have to excavate a small cut like this. So from here we are going to install the soil. So the first step is excavate a small cut, then drill the hole. So we are not inserting the soil. What we are doing is we are drilling this much of hole. Okay. Then install the grouting into it. See, if you see here, this is a drilling equipment. Okay, see here. That means it is going to remove all the soil in a slope. And see here also. Here, after you drill, that means after you made a hole, you have to insert the nail into it. Okay. So how actually it does is, see, this is the hole. This hole is that one. So what we do is, we are placing a nail, a steel member, and we are going to grout all this place, such that there is a proper bonding between the steel element and the surrounding soil. Okay. So this is the next step. We have to install the grout and we have to install the nail and we have to grout the nail. The next one is apply the grouting like this. So once you install it, you have to apply the grouting, and we also need to place the temporary facing. That's a temporary facing. Okay. After the above it, we have to place another facing. Finally, we have to place the final facing. Like this we have to go. See this one. By providing a temporary facing, we are applying the mortar with pressure. Then we completed step by step up to the last one. Then we finally placing the final facing element. This is the final facing element. Okay. Here we are providing a drainage at the top. That is, we discussed that we have to provide the drainage paths, right? That is that one. Then coming to the advantages. It has so many advantages. The first one is, it is less costly. The cost is very less. Then grouting only once is required. So once you do the grouting, that is insufficient, and it is saving the time and labor. So no less number of labor is required, and the timing is also very less. Okay. Then the technique is flexible and easily modified. If there is any modifications, then we can easily modify this type of techniques. Less impact on nearby properties. That means if there is any tall structures or there is any bridges or all there, it impacts so much of less effect on the surrounding structures. The first one is, this can be used strengthening of either natural slope or man-made cut slope. Natural slope means the slope of the hills, mountains and all. Man-made cut slopes means embankments and cuttings. Yellow, excellent workspace in front of the excavation phase. If you see an image, we have so much of workspace. So we have so lot of space to work. So it is allowing the lot of workspace. So that will show you image. Rapid and uses less construction materials. So it is using very less materials, and it is most economical. Okay. The next one is, lateral thrust on the wall is almost eliminated. That means the soil is not going to apply the lateral pressure on the soil, on the retaining wall. We have provided some reinforcing elements, right? So those are taking the tensile stresses. That's why. Due to the development of soil reinforced interface friction. That means as you are inserting the soil layer, there is a development of friction between the nail and the soil. So that's why there is no lateral thrust or lateral pressure on the soil, on the wall. Thin wall element known as skin is found adequate to retain the backfill, resulting in considerable economical saving. That means thin wall element, that means the thickness of the facing is very less. So the thin wall element is required to retain the soil. The next one is, it is a simple construction and faster construction than normal concrete walls. If you compare the time, it is very less time. Then it can be built in confined areas. That means very small areas and areas where concrete wall is almost impossible. For example, it is not possible to construct a concrete wall because the soil is not too good, foundation soil. So in that cases, we can do this technique, grouting technique, and make the soil stabilize. High seismic load resistance. So with this, if you stabilize the slope, then it has high seismic load resistance. So under the earthquake also, the slope is not going to fail, and various shapes and forms can be made. So we can make any type of shapes we require. The next one is applications. So this one is we already discussed. We generally use these types in roads or oil fields, railroads, embankments and returning structures. If you want to see few more, see this is the highway. So here we are inserting the nails into the soil. Okay, this is the first one. The second one is stabilization of railroad. So this is the movement of a train. So this is here we have a slope. If you see these white ones, those are all soil nails only. Okay. Then in case of tunnels also, if you see some points here, if you see the points here, these all are nails only, soil nails. Okay, by using the soil nails, we can stabilize the soil so that the soil cannot fall. And this is for steep slopes. This is the steep slopes. The soil may fail, but with the help of a drilling equipment, we are inserting a nail there. Okay, so these are the applications. So let's summarize today's class. So in today's class we have started soil nailings, the topic of soil nailing, right? Okay. In that we have discussed what are the various materials we use, materials used, and what are the various machineries used. Materials and machineries, then what are the advantages and applications of soil nailing. So we took only 2 classes to complete the 4th unit. That is because the syllabus is very less, right? So 2 classes more than enough to complete the 4th unit. If you focus on these 5 topics, you must get a 1 essay question. Okay. So with this we have completed our 4th unit. Thank you.